Hey guys, it's been forever. I was super busy with school and life. So I decided to talk about how I made my telephone operator switchboard for the song It's a Perfect Relationship. That song was my peer demo song for second semester at AMDA, and in honor of that, here's how I made it. Before I continue, for those of you who don't know what a telephone operator is, that's pretty much an obsolete job, which entails a person who switches around cables connecting the callers to people like all over the city or all over the country, even the world if it's an international call. And that's what my character is in this song. That's why I had to make a telephone operator switchboard. Okay, now on to the actual tutorial ish explanation of how I made it. So, what I did was I already had this foam, like, poster board type of thing, and I had it for Eastern European Club because I remember I was, like, using it for promoting it at club, like, tabling in high school, and I just never threw the board away for some reason. And good thing I didn't because it came to be super useful. My rent should be lowered because of that fire department, I swear. Like, back to the program. So, I had the poster board. I'm sure you can find it at like your local dollar store or Staples or whatever. And um, before I cut off any parts, because I cut some of it off in order to fit the prop set tables, because at AMDA we have two sizes of tables. We have small tables and like bigger, like round tables, and I measured the table before I cut anything off. And then um, after figuring out that length, I cut off what felt right with one of those like bread knives that are like that have a curly, not curly, but like a wavy, like spiky blade. If you have a box cutter or X-Acto knife or something, I recommend that instead. But we don't have that here in this household. So yeah, I used those pieces I cut off to make supports for it. So one for the very bottom, like for the base, and these two for the back, because this alone won't be enough to hold it up straight. And then I spray painted it. But before I did that, I took off any like pieces of paper I glued on top of it as much as I could, so the texture could be as smooth as possible. And then using this spray paint, which I had from another project like a long time ago. Like I have so much of it still, and it's been like 7 years since I bought it. And I sprayed it up, and then I like went on to Google to get ideas for what those look like, because living in the 21st century, you don't really need telephone operators anymore. So, if you look up close, these little silver labels have like different cities across America. Obviously, I put New York City because the scene takes place in New York City, and that's where my character Ella works and lives. Obviously, so yeah. I decided to do like red, green, and yellow for like available, pending, not available, whatever. This is a random number I came up with. To be honest, I don't know what the function of that knob is. Of these, like, I just went off of pictures of these little machines on Google and just BS the rest. So, yeah, that's like the basic, like, assembling of it. And before I continue, I did all these with either paint or paint pens, like Posca pens. So the silver was with like acrylic paint, and everything else was with Posca pens, which are acrylic paint pens. They're really great. If you do art, you should get yourself some. They're very good. So, in terms of the wires, the way I did it was these earbuds with the little mic, which came with like a phone many years ago that I had. This is the main, like, talking headset that I use, like, as Ella for myself. And these are some random wires my dad gave me from a little box of like music wires and stuff. And I would use those wires to like connect the different city holes to each other. I'll put them in and you'll see. And I forgot what these were called. There's some sort of music thing, and they're gold plated, very fancy. They've got these two jacks. I don't know what for. I'll ask Daddy. So yeah, that's the guide to which like wires and like inserts I'm using. And now I will show you the final product. So here's the whole thing with all the wires. So like I said, this is my headset connected to New York City. Here's those two things. I don't know what they do in music, but they felt correct for this project. So I have Los Angeles and Seattle connected to each other, Denver and Boston. And then there's a bunch of other cities that no one's like talking to each other from at the moment. And yeah, that's pretty much how I made it. I will also insert a picture of it on the table so you could get the feel of how it's supposed to look in the set. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Now that it's summer, I'll try to make more videos. See you next time. Bye.